Hi guys, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Today I have for you a teach and play material for Manila, the Savage Street, 1945. This is the volume number 2 from Solitary Area Movement series. This is a solitary game about the campaign in Manila in 1945 in February and March. The game is published by Revolution Games and Take Game Designs, and the designer is Michal Rinella, whom we know already from the volume 1. By the way, I have also volume 1. So this is Stalingrad, Advance to the Volga, 1942. You can also see materials about this really nice, interesting solo game. And I'm really glad to see that there's a continuation to the series with this material. Historical background. So, as General MacArthur said in 1942, he will come back to Philippines. He will come back to Manila. He will take it from Japanese. That's exactly what he was doing in February and March 1945. This was a very savage battle for the city. MacArthur tried to preserve as much as possible the civilian losses, but it was not fully possible due to the stiff resistance of Japanese, and unfortunately a lot of non-combatants perished in this operation. What we'll be doing here, we'll be playing against a static enemy, just like in Stalingrad. It was exactly like this on the battlefield. The Americans were moving, the Japanese were rather doing the static defensive point. What I have in mind for today's material is just, first of all, I will explain to you the components, the sequence of play, a little bit about the some of the game mechanics, and then we'll play a couple of turns. I believe that would be the best way to show how it actually works. Here would be our dice thrower. Here we have a dice. So everything is prepared, and after this brief introduction of the history and brief introduction of the series and the game, let us have a look at the rules components. So the teach part. Okay, let's start with the teach part of this teach and play material. So what you see now is a map of the game. This is a map of Manila. This is divided in 37 areas, and yeah, these are distinct areas which are bordered by the black border. Yeah, so the black border separates the areas. They are all numbered, as you can see. This is one is here, second is here, third is here. So the upper number is always the number of area. It allows for the easy identification. And the last one, 37, is exactly here. Each area has some type of a terrain in it. In Manila, we have 3 types of terrain. The green is clear, the gray is urban, and the black is fort. They will give some additional strength points to the defending Japanese. In clear, you will always have +2. In urban, you will always have +3. In fort, you will always have +4. Unlike in Stalingrad, you don't have here the mountains type of terrain, which was there, and you don't have some additional benefits in forts, which were adjacent to Volga. That was how it was in Stalingrad. So 3 types of terrain, 37 areas. 3 areas are at the beginning occupied by the Americans. Here, this is the 37 Infantry Division. Here we have the 1st Cavalry Division, and we have here also the 11th Airborne Division. Yeah. So this is important to remember. Just have rulebook open, not to miss anything which is important. So for the map, let's continue. What do we have here? Here we have some tracks. This is a morale track for the Americans. It starts from 19, and if it's between 19 and 10, it always gives Americans a bonus to the combat. If it will drop to 9 to 0, they will have it on minus. This token will nicely show that this is defense value +1 if morale is 9 to 0. and this shows this is +1 to attack value. By the way, if it any time reaches 0, the American player automatically loses the game. So don't do this. Then we have a record track where we'll be tracking two major things. First of all, control of areas. You have 2 tokens for this, yeah, to allow for the control, and the supply. Supply is at the beginning 0, we'll be rolling a die, the control of area is 3, because we have those 3 areas already controlled at the beginning, at the onset of the game. Now we have a turn track. There is a turn marker, and we'll have 9 turns to complete the game. They are around 3 days, yeah, in length, yeah, each of the days. Here we have some reinforcements. Here we'll also have some reinforcements, and there will be also a mandatory withdrawal here. Here we have abbreviated sequence of play, about which I will be discussing in a moment. Here we have so-called used support units. In this game, you have 2 support units in the basic game, artillery support and engineering support. Okay, as an optional rule, you can use air support, and the air support is not in the, let's say, base game rules like it was in Stalingrad. In Stalingrad, you actually had 1 of those tokens per each round. This reflects the decision of MacArthur not to bomb Manila unless this is completely and 100% necessary. And he actually, if I remember, did not yield to the requests from his, soldiers, and decided that they will not be bombing the Manila. So these are the use support units. Here we have random event results. We roll 3 die and at the beginning of a turn, and depending on the roll from 3 to 18, we would have different results, and we will place here the actual die rolled. Then we have available support units, which we will buy from here, put them here, and use them during the game. And last but not least, we have out of action units, so the ones which will be hit. So the game is played for the 9 turns. Victory conditions, as I said, if morale reaches 0, we are out of the game. If we manage to conquer all 37 areas within the 9 turns, we won. And there is also some kind of operational victory. If we do not, if the automatic victory, so taking over all the areas or reaching morale 0, has not been achieved, we check to what extent we managed to achieve operational victory. Operational victory means, and this is more or less what historically said, that Americans are occupying 34 out of 37 areas, and they have this area here. This is Intramuros. Intramuros, very important part of the Manila district center, and with also part of the port. So if we have 34 plus this, we are fine. So far, I have not managed to reach this result. It was difficult, although the initial play was good. I was then hit by some events, and it was a nasty struggle. But that's the beauty of this game. So a solitary game which does not have some replayability and difficulty would not be a good game. Okay, so anything about map? Here we have a possibility to tally attack defense values. It helps during the actual play. Really useful stuff. And that would be all. Now the playing pieces. We have Americans, as you can see, they are in green. What do we have on the American unit? So first of all, we have combat strength, we have movement allowance, we have type of a unit, armor or infantry, and we have also the division. There will be, and this is something new in comparison to Stalingrad, leaders. They have 0 strength, but they can add 1 point of strength value if they are commanding units of their division in the fight. And this is color coded, as you can see. 3 shades of green, 3 shades of brown, let's say. I believe so. Here we would have the 11th airborne, but there will be more coming later on. Now for the Japanese are the static units which are connected to the type of the terrain. So here in clear we would have some type of units, in urban we'll have some type of units, and in fort we'll have some type of units. We don't know what is there as long as we do not enter this area. And if we enter this area for the first time, the Japanese will use some nasty tactics against us, and we'll have to combat them. This is very nicely described on the player aid. Here are all the tactics which we have. The observant, players will see that they are slightly different than in Stalingrad. Here we have a sniper who can shoot at our leaders, and this was not in Stalingrad. Right? The ambush, barrage, and fanatics are similar. Elite, I believe, was called Heroes in Stalingrad. Something like this. We'll be going through them during the play. I don't want to spend time now on this. When you lose the units, you will be able to buy those units back during the supply phase, but they will have different costs. So depending on the type, is it artillery, engineering support, air support in optional rules, infantry, armor. Armor is more costly here than it was in Stalingrad for the balance of play purposes, and morale. You can also buy morale. Units, I told you, so this is also depiction of a unit. It also has a setup area or reinforcement, and it also can be spent. So on the other side, when we move them and they don't have more moves, they will be spent. What else? So we talked about the units, we talked about the map, about the markers. Let us talk a little about the sequence of play. So here we have a sequence of play, and it's also on the player aid with references to the chapters. The game is pretty straightforward as far as the sequence of play is concerned. What do we do? First of all, we have down phase. And in the down phase, we will have reinforcements arriving, mandatory withdrawals being performed, and third thing, if we have any of the leaders in casualty, we'll check what happened after the sniper, shooting them last turn. They can die, they can be wounded and simply enter next turn, or they can be ready for the fight already in this turn. In the second phase, this is a random event phase. We roll 3 die and we check the event which happens. And these are usually not good events. If you will manage to achieve a no effect result, you should be lucky. These are not things which are helping you. These are hindering things. When you have supply phase, you roll 4 die, unless somehow impacted by the event here, and you track here the supply, and as shown already on the player aid, you will be purchasing all of those things. Then after the supply phase, the most important part of the game starts, combat phase. In combat phase, you designate one area at a time as an active area, for example, area 2, and you can move units around. The movement is pretty straightforward. Also, we have a cost. Entering a vacant area is 1 movement point. If you enter a vacant area next to the Japanese units, it's 2 points. If you enter area with revealed Japanese, 3 points. And if you enter area with unrevealed Japanese units, 4 points. That basically means that usually most of those units has 6 movement points that you can, if this would be, for example, a US occupies already, you can enter this for 2 and enter this for 4. So that's usually what it means. When you enter the area, you will fight, and the fight will describe on the actual example. I believe a theoretical explanation would not be good. In essence, you would have the strength of the Japanese unit, strength of the terrain, the tactic, which can also help, roll 2 die, usually, and check it against the American value, which will be the attacking leading unit, the supporting units, maybe combined arms, maybe morale bonus, maybe some artillery or engineers, and 2-die roll. We then look at both results and check what happens. If we manage to prevail, if we manage to prevail heavily and overrun the enemy, maybe there is a stalemate, maybe we simply were repulsed. If there will be a stalemate and will stay in a hex, that's not very good, because that means that there could be some fighting there going on, and at the beginning of the combat phase, we will have to check for the losses. Once we decided that we don't want to activate any more areas, or simply we activated each and every area, we move to the next round, to the end phase. In end phase, we'll reduce morale by 1, because the troops are getting exhausted and they have really enough of fighting. We of course check for automatic victory of both sides. And let me see if anything else. We clean up the event, so it's mainly the cleanup phase. And yeah, by the way, if you have not spent your support markers during the particular turn, it stays for the next turn. I see that I omitted one small interesting thing about the map. You can see that on the map, on some areas, you have the American flag. Those areas are heavily defended, but those areas are also giving +1 morale to the Americans, which with time will be really critical and of essence. And we will need it. I believe that would cover majority of the rules. One thing which I would like to mention and show to you is that the game actually brings a lot of optional rules, just like it was with Stalingrad. We have rubble, we have this airfield here, Nichols airfield, very, very important one. We have also how the parent formations will be fighting, and some other things, among them air support. So what I wanted to say is, this game, solitary game for me needs to have a 3 major things in order to be interesting and in order to actually be a long-lasting joy for me. First and foremost, of course, as a historical wargamer, I need some interesting story to be told. And this is a story which I have not known fully. So I read about it, I really like it, and that's really compelling to me. Second thing which a solitary game has to fulfill for me is replayability. It has to be replayable, otherwise, so what? You will win once and that's all. So here, each time you have different set of units, because the number of tokens for forts, clear, and urban is twice what you usually use in those areas. And their distribution is also very interesting. So you can see that the clear can have from 3 to 6 strength, various tactics. The urban can have from 5 up to 10 different tactics, and fort is from 7 to 10 also different tactics. Each time you are facing completely different enemies. Another thing which is impacting the replayability is events. All the time they are different, and they can really impact your strategies. And the third thing are the optional rules, which I showed you, also allows you to play completely different game. Really completely different game if you implement them. I remember when playing Stalingrad, I was playing with the optional rules. It was really nice and also refreshing experience. Third thing which I would like to see in the solitary games, and which makes me coming back to them, is them being tough to win. If you win with the ease, it's not such a big satisfaction like trying to get to this dream to victory step by step with some hardship, but still, being closer and closer. Have I won Stalingrad? I believe once in many games. Here in my first attempts, I was able to reach around 30, but in those games, the last 100 yards, let's say so, are the hardest. Yeah, so the last, areas to conquer are the hardest, and I really, really like it. Okay, I believe this is enough of a philosophy. We'll pause for a moment. I will set up everything, and we shall start. And we shall start with the play part. Okay, guys. So let's do what we like the best. So by the actual gameplay, show you the game mechanics. We'll be going through a sequence of play. In the down phase, we would have reinforcements, we would have mandatory withdrawals, and checking of leader casualties. But as we don't have anything of this in the turn one, we will not do it. There are two special rules about turn one. One is that when we will be rolling for the supplies, we should have at least 12. So this is the minimum we should acquire. And yeah, this we will check. And then when we will be rolling for the event, we will not have division posts in the first turn. Actually, in the ninth turn, they should also not be posts. You can hit with each and every unit. So nothing in down phase, random event phase. Let's roll 3 dice. We have 11, and 11 is the most common result, civilian and refugees. We mark it here and we read what does it mean. It will be here. The attack value of any mandatory attack is reduced by 1 this turn. Mandatory attack is when you enter the area, you flip the Japanese and you see what's there. That means you need to attack them. But if you were already there, you have an optional attack. So we will have -1, not nice. We go to the supply phase. We rolled 11, 17. This is good roll. This is good roll. 17. There are two reasons why this is a good roll. We don't need to spend any money for increasing morale or refitting our units, so we can spend it mostly on the new support units. It would be good to also leave some of this for the next turn if we have worse roll. We'll be buying the engineers for 2 and artillery for 1. Let me buy. Okay, this will cost us 12. Engineers are costing us 2, 2, 2, each artillery 1, so this is 12 in total. 12 in total, 17, so we have 5. How much do we need for the next? And I would like really to push hard this turn, but it might be enough. Those guys are pretty weak. It's good idea in my experience to wait for the reinforcements to come. So we'll mainly attack with the infantry and with the cavalry division. You can see also that those 2 tanks, 7s, are the hardest hitters. So we'll definitely throw them immediately into the urban areas. We can use some of those slightly weaker formations to hit, for example, the open terrain. So do we leave 5? I believe we'll leave 5. Okay. Supply phase finished, combat phase. We start to move. So let's start with the first cavalry. They will move to Santa Mesa Estate. They will take 2 tanks, 2 infantry, leader, recon unit. What do? We flip it and we see that we have ambush. What the ambush tactic means, it's not a nice tactic. Ambush means place the lead attacking unit in the out of action box after combat resolution. Ignore if the combat result was repulse, but I believe we will win it. Their defense is 8, so let's mark it. Defense value is 8. Our attack value, depending on how we would like to play it, whether it will be leading unit or it will be leading unit. Let's assume that the leading is this tank, but we'll need to lose him, and refurbishing him is like free supply, so it's not easy. So this is 7, and then we go through the attack value calculation. +1 for each additional attacking unit. A leader unit does not add +1 if there are no units under its command participating in attack. This is not the case. So this is 7, this is 8, 9, 10, 11. So the basic is 11. Now, other than that, +1 for each artillery and +2 for each engineering support marketplace. I will use one artillery here, at least. So this is 12, because the next point says +1 combined arms bonus if attacked by at least 1 infantry, 1 armor, and supported by at least 1 artillery or engineering marker. So this is another point. And the last is American morale is 10 or plus. It is. So this gives us 14 to 8. 14 to 8. We will probably win, but we'll lose that tank, which we'll need to rebuild next turn. If it's otherwise, we can add some more of our units, and for example, do a leading unit with infantry, which will be then smaller pattern. Okay, let's leave it like it is now. So 14 to 8, each side rolls 2 die. We have 10, they have 8. If we have 10, we have 24. They have 8, they have 16. 24 to 16, that means our victory. And you see we have 24 to 16, which is 8 difference. This is higher than the value of this unit, so we have an overrun. Unfortunately, our tank goes here, but all those units are eligible for another attack. They are still fresh. Whether we would like to do it or not, it's a separate story. We take control of this area and we mark it here. Now, let's do another attack. Let's do it here. Let's move this part of the 1st Cavalry Division. And let's see who is facing us. Sniper! So they will be shooting at our leader. They have 6 plus 3, this is 9 as the defense value. Our attack value is 7 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 11 as a base. What the sniper will do, okay, let's read this here. Place 1 leader unit in the out of action box after combat resolution, player's choice, if more than 1 leader is present. If no leader unit is present, treat it as an ambush. And we'll be resolving at the beginning of the 2nd turn what happens to this guy. Okay, guys, we have 11 to 9. We have morale for sure. This is 12. Now the question is whether we use artillery. If we use 1 artillery, it's not only +1 for artillery, but also for combined arms. So I believe 14 to 9 should do the trick. Okay, 14 plus 11 is 25. 7. 16, so this is 25 to 16, difference is 9. So again we have an overrun. So again we don't spend those units, but the leader goes here. The losses are inevitable in this game. You need to learn to live with it. That is why also we kept some of those supplies here. 5 controlled. 5 supplies will allow us to rebuild 1 tank and 1 infantry if we need to. Now, let's move the infantry somewhere. I will move those units here. This is 2 movement points, this is 4 movement points. So they all can move here. We need to hit hard in order to conquer as much territory as possible. In this clear we have Fanatic. 2, 3, this is 5. Fanatic has interesting way of playing. If a combat result is a success, it is changed to stalemate. Ignore if a combat result was repulse, stalemate, or overrun. What that means? That means that we really need to hit them hard with an overrun. So the difference between our attack value and their defense value has to be higher than 3 in order for them to be destroyed. Our attack value is 6 plus 1, 1, 1. So this is 10. Nice. What shall we add here? We have morale, that's for sure. And if we add one of those tokens, we would have 2 additional points at least. I will add 1 artillery here. So this is 1 artillery and 1 for combined arms. 13 to 5 should be enough to do the overrun. So this is 7 to 7, 7, 20, 7, 12. So yes, 20 to 12. This is 8 difference. This is more than 3. So they are killed. Those guys are fresh. That's important. And this is being taken over. And we have 6 control. What we'll do now, we will push them once again here. See, the initial attack is not so bad, but then when you will need to start spending on those out of combat units, it will not be so nice and easy. We move here. What do we have in water supply pipeline? Ambush. This is 2 plus 4. This is 6 defense. And now, do we want to lose the tank? I'm not sure we want to lose the tank. We have enough of those. I want to keep this tank intact. Okay, let's assume this will be our leading unit. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. And we will add maybe 1 engineering support and 1 artillery support. Remember, ambush will kill us the leading unit after the combat. So this is plus 3, 1, 2, 3. We have 1 for morale and 1 for combined arms. 13 to 6. We should be able to win. So this is 5 and this is 8. 5, 18, 8, 14, so 18 to 14. Yes, this is the victory. And this is not an overrun, this is 4 difference. The difference has to be higher than the strength of the 4th unit. So those goes here. Okay, this is killed. This is conquered. This we update, and those guys are spent. They did their job. They did their job nicely. Good. We can activate further. We still have some available support units. So we need to send probably another infantry regiment. Let us send those guys here. They enter here. We flip it. Fanatic. So this is 10. And just a reminder, in order to kill the fanatic, you need an overrun, which will be difficult. And now we have a strategic decision to make. If we'll be retreating, if we'll be repulsed, we'll lose morale. But yeah, repulse, yeah, we'll lose 1 morale. And will be spent. Yeah, and we will be spent. On the other hand, guys, I believe this is a good tactical decision. Our strength is 6, this is 10, so we are equal, and we would need to pump it with morale, with additional stuff, and count for a good roll. So no, we will not add anything from here. We'll simply do 10 to 10 and see what will happen. Maybe we'll be repulsed, or even worse. Let's do this as a leading unit 4. So we have 8, yes. So I rolled 7, and they rolled 10, so anyhow this would not make sense. So we are repulsed. So American attack has been repulsed and there is no effect on the Japanese unit. The lead attacking unit is removed from the area and is placed out of the action box, are flipped into spent site, retreat is required. Okay, we'll rebuild it, no worries, and we will move here. And now we will kill this fanatic with a second wave because remember that their special ability works only when they are first revealed. So they have again 10, but at least we do not need to overrun them to kill them. So let's do it. Now we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 to 10. We will add at least 1 artillery and 1 engineering support, so 3 additional strength. We have combined arms, and we have also the morale. And by the way, we needed to remove 1 morale here. So I believe this is the way to attack. We can potentially use 1 more artillery. The number of supporting units of those artillery, engineering, and so on tokens you can use has to be equal or smaller than the number of units participating in the combat. And actually, you can have only 1 engineering support, if I remember correctly. Yes. And it adds you attack value +2. So let's roll. Hope for the result. 6 to 10. 6, 22, 10, 20. Okay, that was close. These guys were tough. They were really tough, but we finally killed them. It was not an overrun, but it doesn't have to be. We increase it by 1. We removed those 2. And those guys are spent. And now, guys, we have a decision to make. Do we push forward with any of the units? We have still those and those guys. Those I keep for the next turn. They lost their best tank. They lost 1 of their infantry. I believe this is battalion. Not sure, but probably. What happens? We have only 1 available support unit, and it could be a really tough fight here and here. By the way, we miss 1 urban here. So what we shall do? Probably pass. Yeah, and the turn. And the turn, and with the turn, and we will check the automatic victory. Of course, nothing like this. We flip everybody to fresh side. We are not in a bad situation. We have 5 supply points from the previous turn. We have a worth of 2 engineering support here. So guys, I believe it could have been much worse. And we conquered in the first turn 5 areas out of 37. So this is not bad. This is not bad. Morale goes 1 down at the end of the turn. And I believe, yeah, that's all. We move to the next turn. So first and foremost, the reinforcements and also the permanent withdrawal and leader mortality. Let me first put the reinforcements here. They can enter here, or if there was a victory over here, they could be also placed there, but no. And now we would have a really nice pack of infantry. The stacking limit per hex is 6, and not counting the leaders, so we will be able to press almost the whole infantry to 1 area and hit hard. But one nasty thing. First, leader. The leader is here, and we need to check what will happen to him. Let me just see. Okay, leader mortality. On 1 and 2, the leader is considered killed in action. On 3 and 4, the leader is considered lightly wounded. He will come back next turn. On 5 of 6, he's ready to be here with us immediately. So let's roll. 4. He's wounded, so we put him as a reinforcement for the next turn. And this is guy here. Yeah, I believe he was here. Now let's remove the event token and down phase, random event phase. Let's roll. We rolled 10, and 10 is that the civilian refugees are actually here. You see, guys, this is one of those events which I permanently forgot to implement. And so we, in all of those 5 combats, have -1 to attack. None of those combats actually was won by 1 point. Yeah, that's fine. But if it was, it would be, yes, not good that it happened that way. So let's remember now about this. Supply. A very poor roll. That is why we saved something from previous day. This is 10. So we just got 15. And what do we want to do? Definitely want to build the tank here. So we can press forward. This is 3, 1, 2, 3. We would like to build some additional support. I'm looking at our units. They are slightly smashed. I will build those guys, rebuild this for 2. So this is 10 left. So this will be attacking, this will be attacking, this will be attacking. Here we might wait for the leader. Here we might wait for enough money to rebuild it. Okay, so with 10, let's build some additional support. So this will be costing us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have only 4 left. And here we don't have HQ. But they are still pretty robust. 7, 8, 9, 10. They will be also attacking, so I will not rebuild those. I will build 2 more artilleries and will leave 2 for the next round. Let's do it like this. In optional rules, the engineering support is much more important than in basic rules, because that allows attacking you the so-called rubble, so the urban and fort areas, which in our case would be very hard to hit. Let's go. So, Marines, forward. Optional rule, which we don't play, says that they need to conquer first the Nichols airfield, which could be difficult. And they were actually stuck there for a pretty long time, like 4 or 5 days before they took it. In our, it would be like 2 turns there in our gameplay. But I will do something different. I will first and foremost go here, and we'll go with a big pack. We'll take those guys, we'll take those guys, and we'll take those guys. It's legit. We have 6 combat units and 3 leaders, so this is okay. This is +3. Let's see what we have here. Sniper. They will be shooting at our leaders. Okay, they have something to choose from. So this is 9. This is a very heavy sniper. I believe one of the strongest tokens in the urban area. Let me see. Yeah, urban is from 5 to 10. So 9 is a nasty guy. So they have 12 at the beginning. Fortunately for us, we have also a lot. Let's assume this is our leading unit. So he has 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have also 12. We will not have tanks here, so we will not have this additional combat value, but we'll have other stuff. First of all, they will get engineers and artillery. So this will be +3. 1, 2, 3. They have morale, so this is 16. Are we able to add anything? No, I'm a little paranoid. Let's add 1 more artillery. 17, 17, 12. 5+, they should prevail. 7, 24, 6, 18, 18. So this is differences of 6, of course, no overrun, but another dead Japanese soldier here. Let me put the losses here. What happened? We move it here. We have one of the leaders not killed. He goes here. We shall see what will happen. And all those guys are spent. They are spent. We will not fight further during this turn. We have this conquered. So I believe we have already 6 on the map, so 9 in total. Good, nice. Where do we push? Here, of course. These are very strong units, and we would like to push with them, and I believe we might even push here in a moment. So first of all, we go here. They will attack with 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Basic, and let's see who comes here. Fanatic, 12. Wow. So again, we need to will either be repulsed or we need to overrun them. For sure, one artillery, which means we have combined arms. So for artillery, for combined arms, we have morale. So this is +2 for us. That's not the easy attack. By no means that's an easy attack. Let's do it that way. Let's add one more artillery here. Just to win. We'll probably have a stalemate. 4 to 8. Okay, so this is 4. We have 20. We lost. We lost, guys, by 1 point. Our morale goes down. We have these units here. They go here. Fortunately. And now it's another 9 urban. It's not easy. It's not easy. Let's attack once again. This time it will be here. Those guys entering here. Maybe not such a nasty guys like a moment ago. Elite 7. Okay. In total it's 10, and for elite we haven't spoken about them. The Japanese side rolls 3d6 instead of 2d6 during combat resolution, dropping the lowest die roll. Okay. So we have 6 up plus 4 units, so this is 10. We start in similar way. We will add some strong support, so artillery and engineers, this is 3, 1, 2, 3. We have then combined arms, and we have also the morale, and we'll add one more artillery. We'll have 16. 16 to 10, and of course the Japanese roll 3 die. So we have 11, 27, and they take the too high, so this is 18. 27 to 18 is 9 difference, so we actually overrun them, which doesn't change anything because we don't have any support to push forward, or maybe we should try. Still, control is 10. Let me just ponder about attacking here. Let's go here. They are fresh. It was an overrun, so they can enter here into the clear area, and we are getting sniper 8. So the defense is 8. Our attack is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 plus 1 from morale. Pity we have not left one of the artillery. It would give us +2, but 11 to 8 is still a decent chance of winning. 7 to 4, 7, 4, so it's 18 to 12. This is not an overrun anymore. The leader goes here, but we have another area without any support. Conquered without any support, and of course, those guys are spent. And we have 11 controlled areas. So in first turn we conquered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second, it was not so bad because we conquered 3. So all in all, this is 11 controlled now. I believe no more attacks from us. They would be too risky. And by the way, we have no means of getting here. The stacking limits prevents us from this. So let's do the end phase. First of all, morale drops 1. Then we flip everybody. There is no automatic victory yet, and there will be a lot of rolling for our leaders in a moment, in turn 3. I believe what we would like to do the next turn, if event permitting, supply points permitting, I see at least 3 axes of attack. So of course those guys, of course those with the tank here, and those with the leader here. But let's see what will come out of this. Okay guys, we are slowly but steadily grinding through the Japanese defenses. As you can see, mostly having successes in areas which are clear terrain, and also to some extent here. I believe we'll play one more turn. I don't want also to this material to be too long and get boring. I believe, yeah, what we see here, you have now a good understanding of gameplay, of the tactics, and also about what is possible and how all those elements of the game interact. So we move to turn 3. First of all, this comes here. They were lightly wounded, and now we roll for the event. We have something new. We rolled only 5, and the 5 is that our first cavalry division is posted. It's a pity. I really wanted them to press here and to press here. Wow, that's not a good news. Guys, of course we haven't rolled for the leaders during the reinforcement phase, so down phase. We need first to roll for the leaders. The blue leader, 1, 2 killed, 3, 4 wounded, 5, 6. Okay. Wounded, so he will enter next turn. And the green leader, 4 wounded, he will enter next turn. Yeah, this post first cavalry is not bad. Not a good information, but we have to live with it. They have some other duties. They're all 15 better. We have 17 supplies. So we will not be buying this tank. Although we'll buy this because we will be pushing now with the infantry division and with the airborne division, and we'll use the 15 on some support. Maybe not everything, as you know, it doesn't make sense, but at least some groupings. Okay, so if we buy for 12, that should be okay. So this is 4, 4, 4, 12. We have 3 left. Then do we want to buy more? Not necessarily. And those guys doesn't have HQ. Yes, and those doesn't have 1 HQ. So let's do that way. We attack with the infantry. They will hit from here 2 movement points, and this would be full 6 movement points. Not spent yet. What do we have here? We have elite. They are 9, which is not bad. They will be rolling 3 die. We roll 2. Our strength is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We add at least 1 artillery, that's for sure. I believe we'll add also engineering support. So we add 3, so we are 13. We have combined arms with all those branches, so tanks, infantry, and artillery or engineering. And we have one for morale, 15 to 9. And remember, he chooses to hire. I will leave it like it is now. What a roll! 3 6s. But we have 8. It should be enough. 23. And they have 12, 21. We again forgot civilians in second turn, but okay, guys. I see that this event is really haunting me. Okay, they are killed, but we don't have overrun, unfortunately, which I was really counting on. But another controlled area, we will not say anything bad about it. Okay, so what do we do now? We'll try to link, or at least move to overlink it between those guys and those guys. That will really help us if we can borrow some of the tanks, and more will come. So what we do? This is 6, 7, 8, 9 against clear. And we made spare 1 artillery. Okay. I believe we can spare 1 artillery. So this is barrage. This is first time when we have a barrage. So let's read about barrage. Barrage. The American player must either place 1 attacking infantry or armor unit in the out of action box prior to combat resolution, American player's choice, or flip all attacking units to spend and retreat. No, we will not retreat. We'll put 1 of the infantries here. So they have 5. This is not much, yeah? This is 5, this is just 5. We have 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. We'll add this 1 artillery as set. So this is 9. Combined arms is 10. Morale is 11. 11 to 5, guys. We should make it. We should really make it. 7 to 7. So 18. 12, and we have 6 different. So this is even an overrun. So we are not exhausted. But I don't have too much strength, for example, for the urban fighting. The worst thing is not this +3. The worst thing, guys, is with the distribution, which is 3 to 6, jumps to 5 to 10. So you will face completely different units here. Much tougher, much more difficult, yeah, to fight with. Now, what we'll do? Both guys will plunge here because we want to have this connection. So they will move 2, 6. They are moving here. Okay. And we flip it. Fanatics 10. So we roll 3 die. We roll 2 die. Will be hard to overrun them then. Our strength is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's give some decent support. 3. Artillery, engineers, morale, combined arms 15 to 10. 1 more artillery, 16 to 10. And let's see what we can get out. They have 7, we have 11. If we have 11, we have 27, they have 17. The difference is 10, and this is an overrun, which I really like. That's what we wanted to achieve here. Now the control jumps. I'm even pondering not attacking with them immediately, but rather with those guys. That might be good. Yeah, so they will attack here. And we will leave one artillery maybe for them. We shall see. Okay, right across the Manila. Actually, that way we will cut the Manila. Yeah, from all the external supplies and so on. We flip and we have sniper. This is 8. Sniper will try to hit our leader. What are our strengths? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I believe we can use one of these engineering supports here. So this is 12. Combined arms and morale 14 to 8. 14 to 8 should be possible to win. We have 9, they have 12. 9, 12, we won. Those guys due to sniper goes here, but they are destroyed. And we have another control. Nice, it's really going better than I thought. It's already 15 areas we control. By the way, we need to get these tanks from here, because if we get to mandatory withdrawal and they are in out of action, we will have our morale hit. Shall we risk one more attack? I believe we should. No other way, no better way to do it. It's my feeling. If we would add one tank here, that could be a really strong killing machine. They themselves have 11, but with tanks they will have also this combined arms. Okay, those will have task of cleaning some of those, and we'll need to go inside the city center. That's the task for you, Marines, now. Flip. Ambush. So the leading unit will be that. They have 11. Wow, a lot. This will be my leading unit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have also 11. We have 2 artillery supports. We will have 1 morale. And that's it. That's all. Not a bad roll. 8 for us, 22 for them. So this is 6 difference. We killed them. Those guys goes here, and those guys are spent. We have another area conquered. And let me put this here and increase the control. Now we still have some units which have not attacked. Those have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on themselves, but with no support. Morale 12, so we have 12. It's a gamble, and a risky gamble. They have even less, they have 9 on themselves. But on the other hand, in this game, if you do not press hard, you will not be on time. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can also mark those initial jumping ones, yes, as controlled by you. It's easier for me at least to calculate them, all of them. And when you're closer to the end of the game, you calculate simply the ones you haven't conquered yet. Okay, let's risk here. I will be continuing the game later on, but for the purpose of presentation, let's do some bold movement. This is ambush 12. So we have 12. This will be our leading unit, of course. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 12 to 12. Let's see if we can make it. Not 5 to 9, unfortunately not. Those guys anyhow would, due to ambush, be destroyed. Those has to retreat. We move morale 1 down. At least they are flipped, yeah, for time being. And those will be able to attack already without their special tactics. At the end of the turn, we remove morale 1 down. We will, of course, check victory. We will move the turn marker 1 forward and we'll flip all the units, but I will do it later on. That's all for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this teach and play for the Manila, the Savage Streets, 1945. It's a really cool game. It's not a complicated game. You can see also that the opponent is static. Believe me, that's still very challenging. And as for being static, we haven't rolled it yet. There are at least 3 offensive and breakouts, which can really make a lot of issues for you. For example, take over some of the terrains you already conquered. So believe me, this is not so static. It's a very replayable game, hard to win, of a very interesting historical topic. So I really truly hope that you enjoyed this. If so, please give thumbs up and give a try to the game. I really encourage you. Also, you can check my reports from the Stalingrad campaigns, which I played previously. They are also on this channel. That's all for today. Thank you very much for being with me. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in another session report, teach and play, or maybe a review. Thank you. Bye.